So next up, I feel is one that's not very likely considering just how Sakurai talked about um, this for the Wii U version, and he actually is working on this next Smash game, by the way, if you didn't know that, and that would be a story mode. Just Subspace Emissary, it wasn't disappointing, but it wasn't what it should have been. It wasn't. You had all the Nintendo characters coming together to fight, to fight bad guys and whatnot, but they were fighting these like weird zombie toy creatures. They were fighting Taboo, who just isn't anything relevant to the Nintendo characters. Like he was controlling Master Hand, Bowser, and Ganondorf and whatnot. So like you had, I just don't understand why Master Hand wasn't the mastermind behind it all, and like why was I kind of feel like it would make sense to have the villains of this universe kind of like an Injustice League type thing, or like a Legion of Doom from DC Comics, have like the biggest bad guys come together to defeat their mortal enemies. It's feel like, have a story like that, and more or less force these Nintendo characters to come together and fight back. You can even have it where Master Hand or even like or Ganondorf or someone, or like they all bring their powers together to force all of Nintendo worlds to collide together. They don't necessarily need to, or you could even have it as all these Nintendo worlds are, in the same plane of existence, and they just haven't like interacted before. They're basically just different kingdoms and whatnot. But I personally like the idea of the cross-dimensional connection type thing. I just feel like it would also add lore to why this fight is happening, because one thing that other fighting games do very well, kind of like Mortal Kombat and Tekken, is that the reason these characters are coming together is because there's this tournament happening, so it makes sense for these characters to be fighting each other. In Smash Bros, it would make sense to have these worlds colliding like this, making it perfectly reasonable for these characters to be interacting with each other like that. So I just feel adding some kind of lore to that. It doesn't even have to be a long campaign. Just have something. And I don't even need to have the side-scrolling portions of Subspace Emissary. You can have it more like the pretty much any other fighting game story, to be honest, where the story itself is told through cutscenes and fights. And there doesn't even need to be any dialogue. There can just be like, text on the screen, or just like in Subspace Emissary, how they basically talk through their emotions and their actions. I just feel like there's potential there for an epic Smash Bros. Story that just hasn't really been told yet. Subspace Emissary was a start, but it just wasn't quite there. So yeah, story mode is definitely something I personally want, though I'm not like expecting. Something else that's kind of in that same vein is a real break the targets mode. I don't understand what they thought they were going for with what they had in Smash, Wii U, and 3DS. It was more of like an Angry Birds style mini game. Like, it was fine the first 3 times I tried it, and then I just have never come back to it, which is never something that happened with Break the Targets. In both Melee and Brawl, I went through with every single character and tried to tried the Break the Targets mode with every single character. With the Target Smash, or whatever it's called in Smash 4, I maybe tried it with 2 or 3 characters a couple of times, and then I just never came back to it because it just wasn't fun. It wasn't as engaging. With Break the Target mode in Melee and Brawl, you actually had to use the unique abilities of each character in order to get through those trials. Now in Melee, each Break the Targets mode was or Break the Target stage was handcrafted for each character. So with Jigglypuff, you essentially needed to use all 6 of your jumps in order to actually break all the targets. So there are some, uh, pretty clever puzzles like that use the unique properties of each character. And in Brawl, it was just, I think, 5 difficulty levels that were standard for each character, or that was standard across the board, which is fine. Like when you have over 30 characters, I don't expect you to have a unique stage for each character, and especially in Smash 4 when there's going to be over 60 characters, that's just ridiculous. I don't expect that. What I do at least kind of want is a little bit of effort that's not just, hit the bomb and burst as many targets as you can with that one bomb. It just wasn't fun. It just wasn't engaging enough. Like I wanted to be able to run over there and try to break them myself, not have to launch that bomb over that no one cared about. So yeah, hopefully they can fix that for the next Smash game. Next up is one that I'm honestly not even sure is relevant anymore. Like I said, I was making this list. I've been making this list for a couple of months, and in my reaction video to Smash being announced, I refer to this game as a Smash for Wii U and 3DS port to the Switch. But there's nothing really indicating either way whether or not it's Smash 4 port or actually new game. So right now, I'm just going off the idea that it is a Smash 4 port with just a couple changes and whatnot. So with that being said, one of my main wants is essentially having all the Wii U and 3DS content in one game. Because there were many stages in the 3DS version that I would have wanted in the Wii U version, and kind of vice versa. Actually, mostly 3DS to Wii U. Corneria is one I would have liked. Magic Hand is one I would have liked. I can't really think of any others. Oh, that Pac-Man stage. That Pac-Man stage was way superior to the Pac-Land stage that's on Wii U. No one liked playing on Pac-Land. Whereas that Pac-Man stage, it got kind of annoying with the thing. I think the ghosts were going around, so it got a little annoying with those guys. But at least it's not a side of auto-scrolling level, which are never good in Smash Bros. I don't know why they keep insisting on having those in Smash Bros. And there are other stages here and there in the 3DS version I wish were in the Wii U version. So having all the content from both, even if it's just a select couple of stages for the 3DS over to the Wii U, or over to Switch, that'll be fine, just as long as they bring over the ones I listed. But preferably have all the stages. Have I think that would make close to 70 stages across the board. I would be perfectly fine with that. I would actually have incentive to not only play Final Destination or Battlefield or the Omega forms anymore, because there really aren't that many stages that are tournament friendly. And I'm not a tournament purist, but when I want to get serious, there's only maybe 6 or so stages I can really choose from that aren't Omega forms. And I just would kind of like to have some more options at least. Like Corneria, yeah, it's not tournament legal, but it's still just a fun stage to play on. And also, I want Smash Run on the Nintendo Switch. On the Smash Run Nintendo Switch. Because Smash Run is honestly the main reason why I still play the Smash 3DS. I hardly ever go online or actually do skirmishes or anything, or the home run bat thing or that break the targets mode. I never do any of that. I almost exclusively, whenever I play Smash 3DS, do Smash Run. So having that on the go on the Switch again would be great, especially when the alternative for the Wii U version was Smash Tour, a mode where me and my brother literally played it a single time, maybe twice. Two times at max. But yeah, no one liked that mode. Literally across the board, everyone who I ever heard talk about that game or talk about that game mode said it was pointless and dumb, and like it just it just wasn't fun. Like you'd rather, considering how the majority of the time you're just battling each other. Yes, there are twists to it, but I would just, the entire time I was playing it, it took like 20-ish minutes just to play that one mode. I could have gotten in 4 or 5, if not more, actual Smash battles with my brother, whoever, in that time. So I just felt like I was wasting my time doing this mode that no one really cared about. Like, it was really sad because, like, somehow they managed to make a Mario Party style mini game that's worse than the Mario Party game that actually came out on the Wii U, which is really sad. So just having the option to play Smash Run would be very nice. And also, of course, all the other 3DS content bringing over. So next is the only thing I feel that Smash Tour actually brought that was kind of unique and interesting. The way Smash Tour worked is that you go across this board, and as you're going, you pick up fighters to actually use. I think you start the match, you start the game by picking one character, and then as you're going across the map, you like pick up other fighter trophies, and you can use them in the final battle, which is actually pretty interesting. It's nothing. It's something that's just never really utilized anywhere else in Smash Bros. As far as I can tell. So having a mode where you can essentially like pick 3 or even more characters at the select screen, and then use those 3 characters, in a battle, and have it where, let's just say you're doing a 3-stock. You're doing a 3-stock match. One person can pick Captain Falcon, King Dedede, Mario. Another person can pick Rob, Pit, Ike. And each one of those characters is 1 stock. You knock out King Dedede, that person loses a stock. And you can maybe even do it kind of a thing like how Marvel vs. Capcom does it, where you can swap like between characters, and the character still keeps the same percentage, but if you know one character you have checks another character your opponent has, even if he has high percentage, you still feel you can beat him. Just it lets you play more mind games with your opponent. It's something I'm not really expecting them to really have, but it'd be something that would be really cool if they did, because after playing hundreds and hundreds of hours of playing Smash Bros, you want just something a little different. You want a playstyle that's just a little bit different. It would just be, it's the one thing from Smash Tour I feel they could actually utilize in a positive way, and not just relegate it solely to Smash Tour. So yeah, that would be really, really cool if they did it. And if even if you wanted to have 99 stocks, you could then pick 99 characters, or like you could just have it where you pick the same character 99 times, or you could pick every character multiple times. Like, there's no real limit to how this could work. I just feel that would be a really, really neat addition to Smash Bros.